Hey guys, Mr. Ring here. Let's go over C3. Determine the zeros or roots of each function or equation. Remember, we're trying to find those blue dots? Well, look at this equation. Now, it looks like standard form here, and that's wrong. Why is that wrong? Because you have this 2 over here, okay? So, let's move that 2 over. I'm going to subtract 2. Because remember, in order to go across the equation sign, you're going to have to do the opposites. So I have 2x squared plus 6x minus 9 equals 0. Okay, once it's now set equal to 0, there in yellow, it is standard form. How is that helpful for us? Because then I can say that this is my A, this is my B, and this is my C. Okay, let's go for the home run. Let's see if we can solve this by factoring. Can we factor? Well, remember, it's A times C up here, and then your B value. So A times C is negative 18, and my B value is 6. Now, let's say you're trying to think of all the combinations. I always like to write them out. 18, 1, 9 times 2, 6 times 3. Okay, let's see if any of these will give us one of those answers. Okay, does any of those work? No, that would 18, but you know, if I add those, it won't equal 6. It won't add equal 6. Won't add equal 6. So is this factorable? The answer is no. I'm going to have to figure out a different method to doing this. So we're going to have to use either completing the square or the quadratic formula. I'm going to choose quadratic formula here. So we're going to use x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And we're going to do these substitutions. So substitution. I'm going to use my highlighter for this so you can see it. Okay, my a value is 2. So everywhere I see an a, we're going to put in 2 here. B is 6, so everywhere I see a b, we're going to do 6. And the c value goes there, okay? Let's now write this in. X equals negative. My b value is 6 plus or minus the square root. Again, my b value is 6 squared minus 4 times a, which is 2, times c, which is negative 9, all over 2 times the a value, which is 2. Okay. Next, we need to simplify. Let's simplify. The opposite of positive 6 is negative 6. It's not 6 times 2, it's 6 squared. So 6 times 6 gives me 36. Okay, this one I like to do in chunk. And the reason why I'm doing it in this chunk is the order of operations, right? You're essentially doing PEMDAS. So we did the exponents, and now you're essentially doing multiplication and division here. So this is negative 4 times 2, and then that's negative 8, and negative 8 times negative 9 is a positive 72. All over 2 times 2, which is 4. Whoops. Whoops. Trying to go down to my next slide here. There we go. Okay, let's keep simplifying here. X equals negative 6 plus or minus 36 plus 72 gives me 108 all over 4. Okay, let's do this problem here in red. How do I simplify the square root of 108? Okay. Some of you guys have done this thing called the factoring tree. I don't know if you remember this thing. the factoring tree, you just keep breaking them down by 2's, right? 2 times 54. And then you have 2 times 27. And then, so I got 2, the green 2, and then 27 is 3 times 9. So you have 2 times 2 times 3, and then you have 9, which is 3 times 3. Okay, so how does this work out? You remember this little index number is a 2. When you have pairs, they can come out. Watch. It's really 2 times 2, or the square root of 4. So you have 1 2 come out. And you get the 3's that get to come out as pairs. Okay, my story is there's a scary neighborhood out here, and it's so scary that you need to hold hands. So there's a pair of 2's, they can come outside the house. You see this blue 3 here has no one to hold hands with? They can't come out. Okay. All right, so I have the square root of, the only thing that's left is that blue 3. So 2 times 3 is 6. So my answer is 6 radical 3. So to summarize, the square root of 108 can be reduced to 6 radical 3, which basically kind of tells you that the best one would have been 36 times 3, and then the square root of 36 is 6. Okay, so let's go ahead and use that information. We're still simplifying here on the left side. On the big problem, x equals -6 plus or minus. Let's use now this one we just did. 6 radical 3 all over 4. Okay, this one usually baffles students. So what I'm going to do is factor out a 2. You can pretend that this box here is like an x. So like, think of it as an x. So you can have something like this. -6 plus or minus 6x over 4. Okay? And if you take out an even, 2 times -3 plus or minus, remember it's like distributing to get the number above, right? This would be a 3. And then instead of having x here, I have radical 3, right? Because that would be 2 times 3 would give us that 6. All over 2 times 2. Okay, why did I do that? So I could do all of this. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So you're left with all of that, -3 plus or minus 3 radical 3 all over 2. What does this mean again? This means that blue box represents, I know, long problem, those blue dots, what we're trying to find. And remember, the plus or minus is really 2 solutions. You just split them up. -3 plus and one's minus. Okay? That's all it means there in the green highlighted there. So you have 2 separate problems. All right? Good job, guys. See you.